building rocks on a trail is called a cairn.
A cairn is what gives people guidance when they don't know always where they're going, but they know they're in the right direction. And a cairn is like a signpost. And so I think a cairn is important because it reminds you of the direction you really need to go.
Because if you conceive it and believe it, you will achieve it. I'm from the tiniest town in New Hampshire. I moved to San Diego, 2 months later, lost my job, had no money in the bank, had no friends, none. I didn't even really have a Facebook account. So this is what happened. I wanted to throw myself out in the world so that I could see what natural aptitudes came forward for me, as well as I wanted to see what the world really needed. And I was like, I want to be the author of my own destiny, and I didn't want to blame or put it on anybody else for success. I had to sneak into a college class, and I got busted. He's like, you're not in my class. I'm like, I need this information, and I can't afford the class. And he's like, you got to go somewhere else. I'm like, I got to be right here, and you have to help me. I'm sneaking into your class. I'm not registered. He's like, you got to register. I'm like, I'm unemployed. I'm broke. You got to make this work. He's like, you're asking me to risk my job. And I said, but what are we risking by not educating people that can make a difference in the community? Because that's what I intend to do. And he was like, okay, all right, well then you can sneak into my class indefinitely. And he said, I believe education should be free. And he let me basically sit in the class, do group projects, and do presentations. Because I know I needed to do something, set an intention, and start something that I could make a difference in the world and not keep worrying about whether or not the job was going to be there for me the next week. Then I started Positive Adventures, right? No friends, no network, no money, abject poverty, living off the fruit trees, kind of hating life. And what did I do? I volunteered. That's the only thing. People will always open the door if you want to volunteer. You know why? Because you can get hired as a volunteer and have a terrible track record. They're not like, you want to volunteer? We're going to need to ask you some important questions. They're like, get in there! So before you know it, I'm like hanging out with the mayor's wife. I'm hanging out with these titans of industry. And they're like, how did you get a meeting with that guy? I was like, I was licking stamps with him at this nonprofit. Yeah, what do you do? One of the things that happened, which was really beautiful, is the phone started ringing for people saying, we want to do something as a team. And I have 100 people. And so I would say things like, well, how about we go to a kids center, paint a whole bunch of murals, put in some gardens, and make it really beautiful. And they're like, great, where do I sign? I'm like, seriously? And they're like, yeah, where do I sign? Then the phone rang again. I want to help somebody. We want to do team building. How about you build 50 bicycles for kids, and kids in the local community could get bikes? They're like, yeah, where do I sign? So now all of a sudden, taking kind of the hippie that I once and am still, now I found myself in a role in a professional deal where I put on a suit, but I still am doing what I'm doing. If you have company A that sells shoes and company B that sells shoes, and one of them has something that does something in the community, they're automatically going to defer to that purchase. Something like 40–50% of people that make purchases want to know, what's your organization doing for the kids? What's your organization doing for the community? And you know, the old world is profits, profits, profits. The new world is the triple bottom line: people, planet, profits. What are you doing as an individual or as a reflection of your organization to demonstrate some of those things that are coming down the line in torrential downpours, which you may or may not have heard yet? Are you the guy that organizes those beach cleanups? What do you do? Where do I sign? That's exactly what it looks like. And I'm here to tell you, because that's the truth of the matter. Do you want to help out the jerk, or do you want to help out the salt of the earth? I'm really not trying to be judgmental to anybody, because I feel like there are lots of wealthy stockbrokers who have done amazing things with their money, who have helped out a lot of great people. I don't think it's bad to be rich by any means, but I think it is bad to be poor in your kindness. You know, to hoard your kindness or to hoard your saying of nice things to make people's day a little bit brighter. You don't have to be rich or poor to say something nice. You know, we used to live in packed caves, and we used to cross great plains and savannas. The blood that's in your body is the same blood from the ancient first people that started sharpening sticks and breaking stones. You are no different. You are the same DNA as the person from 15,000 years ago. Yeah, we have iPhones, they had sticks, but ultimately they still had feelings. They still sang and danced. They didn't have dubstep, but they probably had something way cooler that we don't know about. And so how do we get from the packed caves in the communal living around the fire to here? Because we believe that relationships are what builds wealth, not necessarily just processes. What I'd like for you all to do is stand up. You have 10 seconds. Find something that you both have in common with the other person that you didn't already know. Hear me now. That you didn't already know, and it can't be obvious. You can't say, Dalton and I both have footwear on. That's an invalid salad. It's wilted. Send it back. You can't neither of you can also say, we both did not spend 2 weeks on the moon. That's lame. Dig deeper. On you mark, get set. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Go and get group up. This is active. Get moving. You like sushi?
Yeah.
Killing it. Woo! Let's try a hard one. Did you ever learn piano?
Actually, I did. I took
Nailed it! Boom, cuckoo! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We utilized some very basic skill sets. Trust, teamwork, cooperation, some security. These are the kinds of things that if you revert to the basics will deliver. Chase Brown, jump back, kiss the south, woo! Whoosh! 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 Ah! And that, my friends, is why we play the game, because this amazing participant is demonstrating all the things that happen to campers. They go, oh, oh. Sure, now you know a little bit more about each other. Now all of a sudden you're like, you don't have a pet and I have a dog. Why don't we go to the park so that we can commune with the dog? Like, there's people out there that wish they had a pet. They don't have one and you do. So share the love. If you can connect with somebody over anything, that is the basis and the foundation of building a relationship so you can later brainwash them into the green, right? No matter what. On the count of 3 for the man that put it all together, which I'm sure you had a lot of support, and I want to recognize all of you too. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! I gotta go and get my kid. I'll see you all later. I love you. Blessings and honor. Thank you.